Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy Dante Miles back in the building with another episode of High and Outside. This is episode 3. You already know where to follow us at the Barber's Chair Net at Barber's Chair Co on Twitter and IG. Make sure you subscribe to the Patreon at patreon.com/Barber's Chair Network. We have 4 different tiers that you could choose from. A lot of good options. Just come shop with us. Come, get this great content that we bring in every week. Of course, you can get all of your Barber's Chair Network merch at the bcnetshop.com. We got some great sales for all of our first-time buyers, and after that, you're gonna have to pay full price, but the prices are good and the quality is even better. So just make sure you shop with us there, and visit everything you need, everything else, your one-stop shop for all podcasts, all articles. We got editorials now. That's what we call them, editorials. We're actually doing those now. We're bringing those to you, letting you know that we are live in these ballparks. That is always at thebcnet.com. Once again, that is thebcnet.com. So let me go ahead and bring my amazing crew in. Starting down in Dallas, we got the one and only Courtney Callabro. How you feeling, Courtney?
Fantastic. Ready for some playoff hockey coming our way here pretty soon.
Hey, the Stars, you were talking championship, you dialed it back a bit, but I still think, it may be in the cards for y'all. It's a talented team down there.
Until the wheels fall off, my brother. Until the wheels fall off.
Hey, rightfully so. Also in Dallas, my boy Malik, how you feeling?
I'm good, bro. Just got back from the ballpark, actually, watching Kumar Rocker show out. I think he's coming back out we'll see if he comes out for the 7th, but 5 innings, 3 earned, solid game for him.
Hey, yeah, I know you were on Kumar early. A lot of people had given up on him after everything that happened with the Mets. You and Courtney, you both were, locked in on that. And so, like I said, we hope to see some good things from him. Speaking of the Mets, last but certainly not least, my boy Sid, how you feeling?
I'm good, man. I actually just got back from the movies. I saw Sinners, but I'm ready to talk baseball. I'm sitting here watching the Mets right now. Edwin Diaz is trying to close out a game, but of course it won't be a calm situation. Never is. So, we're here.
I haven't. Go ahead, Courtney.
Sorry, Dante. Do Mets fans have like a nickname for the Edwin Diaz closing experience? Like Cubs fans call Ryan Presley Ryan Stressley. Do they have that for Edwin Diaz?
No, because New York sports media is like super, super old and lame. They say stuff like Ed Lose Diaz, like.
Oh, that's not original. That's
like that was his thing for a while.
Hey, sometimes the classic, sometimes nothing beats the classics. I like that one.
Yeah, like it's so silly. Like.
Actually, I haven't been keeping up with bro since he came back from injury. Has it been that bad? Like, has it been that?
It's been the average closer experience. It's
okay.
Completely been the average closer experience. Closers aren't consistent year to year unless like you are. Like, he's fine. He's paid really well to do a good job, and he's the closer of my lifetime for the Mets. I think for the peak of my fandom, which is probably now in my life. So I'm fine with him.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, that is the closer experience these days. I feel like, in that moment, you have so many people who just, obviously try to sit back and throw 100. And I think the elite do it. But at the same time, it's a lot of pressure in those moments. And, every once in a while, you're going to have people that crack. I think in our era, we grew up with so many dominant closers. Like, just thinking about who we saw from Mariano on down. It's a different era. So, I feel you on that. Let's get into a quick recap of what we had this weekend. We picked some series for you all to watch. And it seems like we were right on both ends. We told you that the Cubs were for real. And those Giants, they look serious. I know they took an L to Philly today, but the Cubs smacked the Dodgers, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not expect that. Sid, how'd you feel about that series?
So I was wrong. I said it was Dodgers belt to ass. I was completely wrong. They handled the Dodgers a 16-0 loss. Shit. I mean, Cubs fans, it's looking real. It looks good. I mean, it's April, but it is more interesting to win than it is to lose. And so keep it up. Keep playing good baseball. I like it. They just lost Justin Steele. The good pitcher. Wasn't pitching to everything. They still don't know exactly what they're doing with him. I think it's some sort of left John at some sort of injury, but they don't know if it's Tommy John. They don't know if it's like that hybrid brace thing that they kind of do that's Tommy John adjacent. But either way, they look great. That's a good series win, especially in LA.
Yeah, bro. Anytime you can get a series win in LA, and like I said, I know it's early, but this is also, if you're the Cubs, one of those confidence boosters for a team that really needs it. And what I mean by that is like, you don't want to get off to this hot start and start to fade. So you want to, if you have those, as we hate to say, those early barometer tests where you go against elite teams, when you can do stuff like this, I think that means a lot. Like obviously losing Steele was big, and we've had our questions about their pitching, more so the bullpen. But that's a big loss. So I mean, I'm interested to see. We know how the Ricketts family gets down if they make any moves. But I mean, like I said, like you said, I agree. The Cubs, I think the Cubs are really legit. As much as it pains me to say that, like that's a very good ball club. Courtney, what do you think about the weekend?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch like the complete games, but my biggest takeaway is the offense. The Dodgers offense right now is hitting a skid, which again, I say it all the time. There's never a good time to lose games, but it is April, so I hope Dodgers fans don't panic too much. My biggest takeaway is I really think the bullpen needs a rest. Like I looked at the numbers and every Dodger starter went max 6 innings, and that was Tyler Glasnow. I really wish that Dave Roberts had maybe a little bit more faith in his starters. Don't get me wrong, your bullpen is great, but like leaning that heavily on them, they're going to get taxed, especially after the week that they had, in DC getting shellacked. That was less than ideal. And then coming right back home and putting that bullpen to use again. God, that 16-0 ball game was fucking ugly. 10 runs, by the way. I'm not even like counting Miguel Rojas because like I'd rather you not burn arms if you don't need to. But like that was ugly. That was really ugly.
I don't know what it is. Like they had somebody put a stat up and they showed like the explosion of these, 14, 18 run games. And like we didn't used to see this a lot, especially when it comes to having position players pitching. Like it's kind of like with the NBA now where you'll have a team come out and hit 43s and just dump truck somebody. Like that's some shit that's really interesting to me because I don't know how you stop it. Like especially with the emphasis on pitching and how people want to save arms. Obviously this happens a lot more later in the season, but it's like I don't like seeing position players pitch. I'm 0 out of 10, especially because 9 times out of 10 they just sitting there just lobbing it up there, and it's not entertaining baseball to me. I understand it's a blowout, but I think this is where we really miss those guys who were just the inning eaters in the bullpen. The guy that with my starter didn't go. I need somebody that can go 4 innings, or I need somebody like, hey, we getting dump truck, bro. Just finish this game. Like, I'm not taking you out. Just sit there and finish this game. But well, like that's kind of like
in that 16-0 ball game against the fucking Cubs, that's exactly what happened. Ben Casterius got lit the fuck up in the 6th inning, and then Dave Roberts is like, well, this offense clearly ain't gonna do anything today, so I might as well let him back out there and get shellacked again, which for me, I'm like, dude had a 0 ERA going into that baseball game and left with like a 6.5 ERA, something around. I'm like, dude got shellacked. You let him get shellacked. That can't be good for his confidence. He's still new to that bullpen. I'm like, I don't love that. So again, I'd rather send the position player out there. Do you think Miguel Rojas cares about his 22 ERA? Absolutely not. Dude got hit for like 6 fucking runs. It was brutal. Related note, when's the last time you saw someone throw a true ephus pitch? Greinke did that a couple times as like a joke.
Great. No, what's my boy? Tony La Russa killed his confidence and took him out of the league. Yermin Mercedes? That home run he hit in Minnesota, that was an ephus pitch. Like that was like a legit 40 mile an hour.
That he wasn't supposed to
he wasn't supposed to swing.
Supposed to tee off on that. You're right.
And he teed off on that bitch.
Where is that guy these days?
He's playing in like the Venezuelan league or something like that. He's
good for him.
Yeah. But no, Malik. Malik, man, how'd you feel about this weekend, bro?
Well, I was paying attention to that a few games in that Yankees versus Giants series. Of course, we saw Stroman struggle, walked off with the knee injury. We'll see if that was fib or if if that's what caused it. Jung-Ho Lee, superstar in the making. He was balling out last season before he got hurt. continues to cash multiple people's parlays with the base hits. I think he had a 3-run home run to give them the lead in one of the games. Aaron Judge, of course, still being one of the best hitters in the majors, named Captain America. He balled out this weekend. I think they won the game against Logan Webb, and then you've also seen Devin Williams start to find his footing. Runners on second and third on Saturday. He gave up first 2 batters reached, and then he struck out 2 and got another out. So and the changeup was looking dirty again. So some good baseball out in that Giants versus Yankees series.
Yeah, it definitely was, bro. And another thing that happened this week, it's an annual tradition that the Major League Baseball celebrates Jackie Robinson Day. We've seen this since we were kids. I think it's something that has evolved over the years, and we're going to get into that shortly. But, as you all know, every team wears 42, and the league does their attempt to pay tribute to Jackie Robinson. Now, this year, things have gotten a little dicey, and this is on the cusp of an amazing article that we all read. Friend of the pod, Jake Mintz, he wrote talking about how it's become only a celebration, and that's a part of the problem. And even before that, there was another article that discussed how a lot of teams have quietly eliminated every aspect of DEI on their websites. Yes, absolutely. I'm glad you said bro's name. I didn't want to do him like that. Yes, say it again.
I said no. You're good. Absolutely, fantastic writer. Works now for the Fort Worth Star Telegram. Great writer.
Yeah, bro is dope. He's really dope. But just talking about how they've quietly moved away from DEI, and even in the press release about Jackie Robinson Day, they didn't mention breaking the color barrier. They didn't mention race. They didn't mention a lot of things that we all know go hand in hand with what Jackie experienced. And I wanted to just toss it to the group. But first, before we go into Jackie Robinson Day as a whole, the team that Jackie Robinson played for, the LA Dodgers, obviously they won the World Series last year, and they were given an opportunity to go to the White House. A lot of people expected them to reject it. They didn't. They went. Mookie made a comment that we hated that he even had to make, but he pretty much was saying, I don't want to make it about me. It's about my teammates. If my team goes, I'll go. He said, last time when he didn't go, he said, people made a spectacle of that, and he didn't really like that. So he wanted to go and support his team. Obviously, we know who's in office now. And, during his first term, we saw a lot of teams that did turn down that offer to go to the White House. But this year, it seems, at least out the gate, it's been a little different. So I'm gonna toss it to you first, Malik. How did you feel about the Dodgers going to the White House? And was that something that they should have done in light of the fact of, just what that franchise represents, especially in terms of everything that Jackie Robinson did?
I'm not mad at them for going. You win the championship. It's tradition in every sport to get out there and go. I don't like how I feel like he kind of pointed out Mookie in his in one of Trump's speaking about it. And then of course, Shohei running around the White House trying to get green points for Ipe. So I'm not mad at them for being there. I get the climate of what we're going on and what they all put, but it's a celebration of a championship. And I think they did a good job, at least Mookie and them did a good job of, they weren't up there cheesing with Trump and they weren't having a party hanging out with them. I felt like it was a true them just being honored for their World Series win. So I can't say it upset me, but I do get what you're getting at when, you talk about the Dodgers, who were the team to break the color barrier. And now we see how basically everything with color is trying to be scrapped out by this current organization running the country. So not upset with them. It's baseball at the end of the day too. We know it's Mookie. Yeah. But the Dodgers ownership, and you got players on these teams who supported the man. So I'm not mad at Mookie for getting out, and I'm not surprised at them for making the move.
Hey, Sid, I'll ask you the same thing.
Surprised is not the word. Disappointed is not the word. But I do think that there is a certain social consciousness with baseball that especially in the spirit of Jackie Robinson, that we need to continue to celebrate in being brave enough to divert from the normal and being brave enough to say, hey, this is not what I stand for as an individual, and like this is not what baseball is inviting into the sport. Like, but it's very easy for me to say that as someone who, you know, who lives the life that they do. But at the same time, you know, if we are so in debt to Jackie Robinson in the way in which we are, and so in debt to the major leagues and the Negro leagues and all of these things that put all of these factors into play, that gives us the beautiful game of baseball that we have now, then we need to be able to stand up and say, like, even though that this is tradition, at some point the buck does need to stop, because like if everything is tradition, then at what point does tradition become harmful and we can't stop it? And so, you know, that sounded way too in depth for just baseball, but like, you know, there's a lot there. There's a lot there, but baseball will continue to be what it is until the people at its core want to change. You know?
Yeah, and we know how they feel about actually changing. Courtney, I'll go to you.
I don't have too much to say that doesn't align with your thoughts. Dante, you've said it before. Everyone's just getting in line to kiss the ring. That's where we're at right now. Everyone wants to like be able to sniff, you know, and because, you know, being able to be within reach of power is access to power. I know we've made the jokes about Shohei Ohtani, brother, you're not low, trying to get a pardon for your mans. But in all seriousness, I want to think like bigger picture, right? This is not the first time that the Dodgers as an organization as a whole, you know, even extending back to their Brooklyn Dodgers days, have been involved in some kind of, you know, racially charged controversy, even from when they moved here and they kicked out an entire community of Mexican Americans in LA out of Chavez Ravine in order to build where the ballpark in LA currently stands right now. This is not the first time this has happened. Jackie Robinson's old teammate, Al Campanis, who literally went on Nightline and basically implied more or less that Black people lacked the innate mental capabilities to be executives and to be pitchers and to be quarterbacks. Like, this is not the first time that the Dodgers as a whole have been embroiled in some kind of controversy. What I don't love is that Black players like Mookie Betts are asked to sort of answer for things that their other teammates haven't been asked to answer for. Blake Trinan didn't go to the White House back in 2020 when Joe Biden was in office. No one asked him these questions. So I just don't love that we're putting Mookie Betts in this situation. Mind you, Brusdar Graterol was not there. I know Freddie Freeman wasn't there because he was rehabbing. So you get a pass from me, my brother, forever. But no, it's just, again, the word's not shocked. The word's not disappointed. It's just, it is what it is. It is exactly what it is.
Yeah, no, it really is. And just given the whole fanfare that they try to put together behind Jackie, and, you know, some of it is dope, but like we said, it's kind of become just a routine at this point. And when you see everybody, you know, lining up to kiss the ring, it makes you wonder, like, obviously, I'm not going to be one of those people how, you know, people, we don't need Black History Month no more. Like, obviously, you're not going to end it. But does it even feel like the Major League Baseball represents anything? Like, anything that Jackie represented? Like, do they still value it? Because, I mean, if you got a chance to hear Kareem Abdul-Jabbar speak, he made a point to say, you know, they're deleting all this shit, but let's remember, you know, who this man was and what he represented and what he did. And I just think it's insane that, you know, you can have people like we saw them try to delete what he contributed to the United States military from the records. It's like, why are we doing these things, and why are we still, you know, that's something to me, like a statement should have absolutely been made, and not just after the fact. You know, it should have been something matter of factly, like, and as a statement, I think, me personally, I'll still stand by this. I don't think they should have went. That's how I feel. Like I feel like we said, Courtney, people have really been lining up to kiss the ring. I think, anybody that's a wrestling fan, you saw what happened today. It's it's kind of crazy right now. So
it's and
where do we go from here as Black fans who, I know I used to look forward to Jackie Robinson Day. Like, how do y'all feel about Jackie Robinson Day now? Like, as we go forward and we know, like we said, what really goes on essentially?
Because I told you guys that I was going to go to the game on Tuesday. And then I was like, wait, why am I going to this game on Tuesday to give you more credit than you deserve, the Rangers, to give you more credit showing up to the ballpark as a Black woman, right? Why am I doing you that service? And no, should I be letting the Rangers and Major League Baseball take this from me and us as fans? Probably not. But that's the only way that I know how to voice my distaste with something, is by not giving them my money. Because that's the only thing that they care about at the end of the day. Is losing money. That's the only way that these people will ever actually listen to us, is if we dissent with our resources. And that, I was like, yeah, I can't in good conscience go to this ballpark. But what you were just saying, man, it's just, this is not the first, it's not even, and like, you would think Jackie Robinson is like the one guy who's safe, right? Like, he's supposed to be the one untouchable. There was a point where, like, everybody on all sides of, the political spectrum, that we were all in agreement that Jackie Robinson was off limits. And now we're in a weird timeline where we're like doing some, and it's not really revisionist history. If you are a true baseball enthusiast and even American history enthusiast, Jackie Robinson was highly, highly involved in the civil rights movement, right? So when I think about, brother, would Jackie Robinson have gone to the White House in this current administration? Hell no. So why do y'all have to? Why do you have to? Why do you feel like you have to? Oh, because you're afraid of the backlash? You are the one of, if not the wealthiest team in baseball. You can withstand a little backlash, especially since the bulk of your fan base, you guys are intrinsically aligned in your values. At least you should be, right? You should at least, kind of like a politician, you mirror the beliefs of your fans. The Rangers do it. That's why there's no Pride Night. That's why there's a Faith and Family Night and they don't have a Pride Night, because they're reading the room out in Arlington. Same thing in fucking LA. You got Japanese Heritage Night. You got Korean Heritage Night, Filipino Heritage Night, etc., etc., etc. Why are we going to this ballpark to kiss the ring of this man and this administration that just doesn't care about you? It doesn't align with the beliefs and values of your fandom, who are majority Mexican Americans and immigrants. That's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Crazy.
No, I think, as a matter of fact, Courtney, I think you really just summed it all up right there. If it's okay with y'all, we're gonna move on. How y'all feeling? Like,
I will just say it didn't feel. I was at the stadium for Jackie Day. I was watching, covering the Angels versus Rangers series. It felt different this year, I will say. It kind of felt like I ain't even want to talk about Jackie Day. Like, just another day, I mean, obviously you speak to a few players, they're going to give you we're honored. I mean, we're honored to be there. We wouldn't be at the games. We wouldn't be, these guys wouldn't be able to bat, but it didn't feel, I didn't feel the, for it.
Yeah, bro. And it's sad that, like, and when it becomes just cliche, like I think it takes a lot of the real meaning out of it, because, like, it was meant to inspire and remind people of just how great this man was. And then when you have it to where you're just going through the motions and now making sure you're aligning yourself with a guy who stands for pretty much everything Jackie was against, I think it's just crazy. It's like, it's sad, but like you said, I'm not, like you said, Sid, I'm not surprised, and I don't think we should be surprised. But no, moving on. One thing that did surprise us a little bit, Sid's guy, I'm gonna let him, anchor this conversation. Juan Soto, he has some interesting comments about his new reality. He went across town. He's no longer in the Bronx. He's over in Queens. playing for the New York Mets. And, that lineup looks a little different. And here's actually what he said. I have the quote right here. It's definitely different. Soto told the Post before the Mets faced the Twins. All right. I had the best hitter in baseball hitting behind me. I was getting attacked more and more pitches in the strike zone, less intentional walks and things like that. I was pitched differently last year. And so, obviously you had some people panic about that. Even it got to the point where, it was so much conversation about it. Aaron Judge even responded. He was like, and this was funny because I really don't expect Mets and Yankees to show each other love, even though the rivalry isn't what it once was. But he even said it. He said he's got probably one of the best hitters in the game behind him right now with what Alonso's doing. It's been fun to watch. He's hitting close to 400 and driving balls all over the field, driving guys in. So they're going to be just fine. So I never thought I would see the day that a Yankee was telling Mets fans to relax, but I mean, here we are. So, Sid, I'm going to toss this to you, bro. What's going on with the new reality over there in Queens for your boy Soto?
Nothing's going on. Things are going fantastic. They're 12-7. Like, what are we talking about? I have to laugh because this is something that I picked up from Courtney because I know Courtney loves numbers and I love listening to Courtney talk about numbers. Juan Soto's career splits in March and April before 2025, 125 games played, a 262 average, 399, 473, 872 OPS with a 141 WRC. His splits in every month when it's not cold outside, which is 811 games played, 288, 424, 542 with a 966 OPS with a 161 WRC plus. And to Aaron Judge's credit, Pete Alonso at this very moment, 730 slug, a 1205 OPS, 21 RBIs, a 365 average, and 22 home runs away from being the Mets all-time home run leader. Everybody at the New York Post can eat dick, bro. Like, what is Mike Puma talking about? John Heyman, what are you talking about? Your job is to elevate the Boris Boys, bro. And you are making us look bad. Like, they're 12-7. What more do you want? They are leading. Mark Vientos to the home. Griffin Canning is giving us good pitch. Like, what is going on here, bro? Like, I had to mute the words pitch lab on my Twitter account because Mets fans are so annoying talking about how good this developed pitching lineup is. And they're right. Why the fuck are we talking about watching? Like, no shit, the game of baseball changes when Aaron Judge isn't hitting behind you. Like, he perennially hits 50-plus home runs. Of course they have to hit to you different. Of course, that everything has to be different. And then the assignment of what's being asked of Juan Soto is so much different now. Like, Francisco Lindor, lead off, Juan Soto, 2. And at any point, like, that's a 1-2 punch. That looks completely different than a 3-4. That so many things look different. Of course, things are going to look different. But again, who cares? The Mets are 12-7. They're leading the division. Who cares?
Hey, Sid, you know who I kind of do feel bad for in all of this conversation?
Who do you feel bad for, Courtney?
And this is going to sound bad because I'm not a Yankee fan. I feel bad for Aaron Judge. Because why am I in it? Aaron Judge, give him his credit. That man don't be saying shit. He goes about his business. He doesn't complain about anything. He just does everything. I feel like we learn about him is against our will because it's always forced, right? So I'm like, he's just trying to. You decided to go across town, and that's okay. I don't blame you, Juan Soto, for taking that deal. But like, wasn't it all? Didn't you also, Juan Soto, go to Steve Cohen and say, "Hey, yeah, I need Pete Alonso"? Because when he agreed to that deal, Pete Alonso hadn't agreed to come back yet, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
That is correct.
So they got you somebody with comparable numbers. Again, he's not Aaron Judge, right? But Pete Alonso has very much comparable numbers. So, like, what? Respectfully, I know he's not Aaron Judge, but what are we talking about here? And why would you even visit that upon yourself? Like, it's almost like you're kind of like laying the groundwork for disappointment, right? Like, yeah, just letting you know I don't have Aaron Judge on this team, so like I'm not going to be as good as I was before. That's crazy. You're 26, bro, and you got fucking Pete Alonso batting behind you. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Malik. I'm going to ask you in a second, but I just the whole tone of the article was weird to me because, like we just said, bro has a lot of talent. Not only that we've seen, it speaks for itself. He gets better as the year goes on, and so for you to, in this moment, suddenly be like, "Oh man, I don't have Aaron Judge behind me." It's like, bro, nobody was saying anything. Like we expect you to heat up. This, it's nothing for you to, be stressing about, like you said, Courtney, preparing people to be let down, because it's like, bro, nobody was let down. Like I'm what you said. I had to go look at their record. Like, wait a minute, the Mets aren't like below 500 or anything. Why is this whole doom and gloom ass article coming out?
Bro, it's because of Sal Licata, the New York Post, New York Sports Radio. It's bad. It's all bad. Like everything the Mets do has to do with the Yankees. Everything the Yankees do has to do with the Mets. Like, applaud Juan Soto for giving people the quote that they were gonna fish for the next like 7 years. Like, like the New York Post was going to fish for this for the next. They're going to fish for that exact quote for the next 7 years. So kudos to you for getting it out of the way, because like, cool. Now everyone shut the fuck up. Real baseball is being played. Like we have things to do.
And you know what, Sid? I think this is the first time, like you said, where Yankees and New York media as a whole is coming to grips with like, maybe the Yankees are kind of losing their hold on the baseball power struggle within New York. Like, this is probably the first. I'm trying to think of a time in New York baseball history where the Mets were like the absolute preferred go-to baseball team in town.
The 80s.
You know? Like, is the New York media a little scared that they're like losing the Yankees, even though the Yankees are still incredibly talented and they are going to get all their dogs back and they're going to be just fine? Is the media a little afraid?
I think they are. It's the difference in how they have to go about everything, because now, like, you kind of have to walk back a lot of things you said about Steve Cohen. You certainly have to walk back a history of things you've said about the Mets. And you certainly have to talk correctly about everything moving forward, because we've seen it. Steve Cohen isn't scared to air his bitch out. He just isn't. He'll go after agents. He'll go after players. He'll go after Steven Matz. He'll go after Pete Alonso. He'll even defer to Juan Soto if he thinks he deferred to Francisco Lindor for a certain amount of time. He deferred to Billy Epler. So like, this man is like real life Tony Soprano in baseball. Like, this is a vindictive motherfucker, bro. Like, this
well, when you've got more money than everybody, you can literally say fuck you and do whatever you want.
It's the exact scene on the boat in Wolf of Wall Street when he's like, "Oh, I have fun coupons," and that's what the Steve Cohen tax is to him, and he lets it be known. And so again, kudos to Juan Soto for giving people exactly what they want. Hell, as someone who is interested in New York sports media, this was something that made me turn and say, "Oh wow, like 19 games in, like that's the quote." And even then, like, good on Aaron Judge again for not throwing the old thing under the bus. Like, what are you talking about? Like, and then even better for talking up the new girl. Like, good. I like the peace treaty between New York franchises.
See, maybe I'm just old school, bro. I like hate. I want him to say, man,
I don't care about
the Mets. Like,
I don't care about the Yankees. Like, it's so hard to care about an AL team. Like, is it fun? Sure, but like, I I have a bigger problem with AJ Minter. Like, why are you so comfortable moving from NL East team to NL East team? Like, go back to the Braves, bro. I don't want you on my team. Like, but no, like that's the hate and vitriol I feel. Like Juan Soto gets a pass because he's Juan Soto, but like everyone else, and Max Scherzer don't get a pass. See, exactly. Like he's a double agent. So like again, like it's all fine. Baseball is fun. Baseball is in a good place. New York media, they are scared of the new, I don't want to say regime, but like sports media has to change. You have to come correct. You do have to talk with the Mets about the Mets with respect, and that's good. Like it's about cultivating a culture of consistency and making sure that there's no bad things to say. And as far as we know about Steve Cohen's Mets, we don't got much bad to say for the first time.
That's facts, bro. Malik, bro, how you feel about what Juan Soto said and Aaron Judge's response?
As far as Aaron Judge's response, he is a very politically correct man, and he is doing a great job of recruiting Mr. Pete Alonso for Team USA Baseball. I think that's the only reason he don't throw him under the bus. I think he's pissed that Juan Soto is playing for the Mets. I know he wants to say fuck you and fuck your team, and yeah, you don't got me behind you. And then Judge didn't give the excuse of, hey, I mean, he could have said, hey, I don't got this dude hitting in front of me. He ain't even throw his Yankee teammates under the bus. So like Sid was talking about, I think it's New York media blowing up a quote, looking for something that everybody wanted Soto to say at that moment. But as far as Judge, just good, great. He's the captain. He's the leader. Doesn't speak up much, but when he speaks, people listen. So I think him saying that, I think it's going to go a long way throughout the league and throughout his Yankee clubhouse. And then just a quick update on I can't say former Met. He was drafted by the Mets, but former Met. Probably just saw the best start of Kumar Rocker's career. 3 earned, but 7 strong. He only had 80 or so pitches when he's coming out. So appreciate that.
Hey, man, we glad to see Kumar rocking, bro. No pun intended. I was nervous for him. I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those people, especially when you get drafted and you have arm injuries, arm issues, and people are like, "Whoa, wait a minute, let's take the money off the table." That's a big step. Like they normally don't do that. But
I mean, they were right about he had Tommy John. He ended up having Tommy John after like two, 3 minor league starts. So he's doing his thing. I think that first start for him in Cincinnati, you travel cold day, you get rocked how you got rocked. I think it was sort of a reality check for him. He's been doing his thing lately. We get to see we'll talk about the series we're gonna watch this weekend, but another Met ball out tomorrow for us.
Yeah, bro. Let's get right into it, bro. I'll kick it off. This week we all brought series to watch. It'll vary week to week. Sometimes we'll have 2, sometimes we'll have 4. If one is really fire, we're gonna just go in on that one. But for me, I got Dodgers versus Cubs, and I think it's just a good test for the Cubs because the Diamondbacks, I'm about to pull up the probable starters. It lines up for the Cubs have to face Corbin Burns game 1, Zach Gallen game 2, and Merrill Kelly game 3. The Cubs lineup, so the Cubs lineup though, and I gotta tip my cap to PCA. That was a guy who everybody said, "Oh yeah, he's fast, but he can't fucking hit." Myself included. I was one of those people. He has been hitting the cover off the ball. I'm gonna show real quick. Just his last 7. Bro's batting .333. His OPS, his on base percentage is .333. His slugging percentage is .852, which I did not expect from PCA. He had the big game against the Dodgers where he had 2 home runs and a triple. And that was one of those, those weird stats that ESPN likes to put up. Only 3 players ever have done this and blah, blah, blah. It was a good game. It was a good game to see. And this is somebody who's really broken out of what we all just wanted to see him do because we knew that you see the speed, you see the defense. And if he can, be a threat at the plate, like you're talking about a guy that can really be a star. And it's the reason why he was in that futures game. I think that the way that the Diamondbacks pitching staff falls into place for this series is going to be a good test for the Cubs. And it is also, make sure you get this right. Yeah, it's Ed Wrigley. So nice little homestand. So if that wind is blowing out, a lot of times it really doesn't matter who's on the mound. So that's the series I got. Who we got next?
Hey, Tay, I got a question.
Yes, sir. Talk to me.
You know where PCA came from?
Yes, I do know where PCA came from.
Oh, okay.
You were very pissed about that, but
you know what? I would make that trade 10 out of 10 times for the 2 months of Javi Baez hitting 305 with Francisco Lindor and Francisco and Javi doing the Mean Girls handshake versus the Yankees and Giancarlo Stanton. Oh my! In the 3 home run game. Oh man. Oh, how special.
Yeah, and then he started swinging at 40-foot curveballs, and you got the full Javi Baez experience. So
leading up to that, can I talk about my series actually?
Man, go ahead, bro.
Oh yeah, the Royals and Tigers. I normally stay away from the AL, but Javi Baez hits the cover off the baseball against Seth Lugo. For whatever reason, he has a 1.1350 OPS against Seth Lugo. So if there's any gamblers out there, that matchup is on Saturday at 12:10 Central, and but I do think it'll be a really good pitching matchup. We have Jackson Joe, we have Reese Olson, we have Casey Meads, we have Michael Wacha, and we have Tarek Skubal all going on the bump. We had the first game today. I'm not entirely sure who won, but yeah, this should be a fun series. The AL is always fun. I think these are two teams that we could potentially see in an ALCS championship. And yeah, I'm super excited for all the good pitching that should be going on here.
Yeah, and actually Detroit won 6-1 today.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah. So Courtney, who you got for us this weekend?
This weekend I am really interested in the Padres-Astros matchup. On Friday, we have Ryan Gusto, who made a start last Saturday and was actually pretty good, versus Kyle Hart for the Padres, Padres are down a couple starters. Joe Musgrove did have Tommy John. Yu Darvish has not started throwing off a mound yet, so he probably won't be back until mid-May. But Kyle Hart actually won the Choi Dong-Hwan Award, which is like the KBO version of the Cy Young. Very, very good pitcher. Curious about that matchup. Hayden Wesneski versus Michael King on Saturday. That'll be a great matchup as well. And then Sunday, Dylan Cease versus Fromber, which I'm sure a lot of people are probably really excited for, but real baseball heads are probably most excited about that Wesneski King matchup. The Astros have not been very good. Only 2 players have a WRC plus over 100, and that's Isaac Paredes, former Chicago Cub, and Jose Altuve. But that offense has really been struggling. They entered Thursday hitting .216 with a .613 OPS. League average right now, by the way, is .695. So that offense is just doing terribly. But if we know anything about the Astros, they love, to a degree, at least this season, being back home, and they like playing up to their competition. They do play best when the lights are bright, and I don't think that'll be any different. So I think this is going to be a very, very interesting series, one to see what this Padres offense is really made of, and then also to see if this Astros offense does still have a little juice in it.
No, definitely, bro. I think the Astros, it's a couple guys I could think of that could really help that offense that, they got rid of. But hey, Malik, bro, what you got for this weekend?
Man, we got a heavyweight fight out here. My World Series prediction, Rangers versus Dodgers in town. I'll set the stage. Round 1, Jacob deGrom versus Yamamoto. Round 2, Nathan Eovaldi versus rookie Sasaki. Round 3, Tyler Glasnow versus Tyler Mao. Mao's been one of the best pitchers in the league to begin the season. He had a shaky start versus Boston, but he's been solid ever since. So Rangers got their offense starting to heat up a little bit. We saw the L the Dodgers took last weekend to the Cubs, so I know they want to get their get back. Mookie Betts is in the building. Freddie Freeman will be back in the house. Clayton Kershaw is getting closer to a return, so I'm sure he'll be in the building. But the vibes are going to be good in Arlington. LA fans, as usual, they're going to take over the ballpark. It's going to be a home game for the Dodgers with all the people from Cali who move out here. So it'll be cool to see how the Rangers respond and try to defend their home field.
No, definitely, bro. I think we picked 4 really good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, not even just saying it because we work together. I think every series we picked has been pretty good. Like so far, we've definitely given the people a lot of good content to watch.
I think we're
That's
baseball
all.
heads, truly.
We might
truly,
just
we're
know what we're
truly
talking
baseball
about.
heads. Yeah, like
Yeah, it's not just for show. We might really know what we're talking about. But no, man, that's all we got for y'all today. Once again, I'd like to thank my amazing co-hosts. We're gonna start doing it a little around the horn. We let everybody host. I feel like that'll be a great way to let the people really get to know folks. Everybody run the show. Do their own thing. I think that's something we'll start kicking off. But no, Courtney, I appreciate you, Malik. Sid, as usual, you all know where to follow these amazing people. We ain't gonna read them every week. You know where to follow them at. And for this amazing network, make sure you follow the Barbershare Net at Barbershare Co. on Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/the Barbershare Network. We have 4 different tiers that you can choose from. Just pick whichever one fits your budget. Just come shop with us, rock with us. Of course, you can get all of your Barbershare merch at thebcshop.com. And for all things Barbershare Network, make sure you check out the bcnet.com. It's your boy Dante. Once again, High and Outside, episode 3, and we'll see y'all next week.